Shri Sai Satcharita, Chapter 14, Part 1. The life of this saint is naturally sweet. His various doings, eating, walking, and his natural sayings are also sweet. His life is bliss incarnate. Sai gave bliss to his devotees as a means of remembrance. He gave them various stories of duty and action, which ultimately led them to true religion. His object may be that people should live happily in this world, but they should be ever cautious and achieve the object of their life with self realization. We get human body as a result of merits in past births, and it is worthwhile that with its aid we should attain devotion and liberation in this life. So we should never be lazy but always be on the alert to gain our goal of life. If you hear the Leela's stories of Sai daily, you will always see him. Day and night, you will remember him in your mind. When you assimilate Sai in this way, your mind will lose its fickleness, and if you go on in this manner, it will finally be merged in pure consciousness. Ratanji of Nanded. Now let us come to the main story of this chapter. In Nanded, in the Nizam state, there lived a Parsi milk contractor and trader by name Ratanji Shapuji Wadia. He has amassed a large amount of money and had acquired fields and lands. He had cattle, horses, and conveyance, and was very prosperous. In all outward appearances, he looked very happy and contented, but inwardly he was not so. Providential dispensation in such that no one in this world is completely happy and rich. Ratanji was no exception to this. He was liberal and charitable, gave food and clothing to the poor, and helped all in various ways. The people took him to be a good and happy man, but Ratanji thought himself miserable, as he had no issue, male or female, for a long time, just as Kirtan, singing glories of the Lord without love or devotion, song without rhythmical accompaniments, Brahmin without the sacred thread, proficiency in all arts without common sense, pilgrimage without repentance, and ornamentation without a necklace are futile and useless. So is a householder without an issue. Ratanji always brooded on this matter and said in his mind, would God be ever pleased to grant me a son? He thus looked morose and did not release his food. Day and night he was enveloped with anxiety as to whether he would ever be blessed with a son. He had a great regard for Das Ganu Maharaj. He saw him and opened his heart before him. Das Ganu advised him to go to Shirdi, take Baba's darshan, fall at his feet and seek his blessings and pray for an issue. Ratanji liked the idea and decided to go to Shirdi. After some days, he went to Shirdi, took Baba's darshan, and fell at his feet. Then, opening a basket, he took out a beautiful garland of flowers and placed it around Baba's neck and offered him a basket of fruits. With reverence, he then sat near Baba and prayed to him, saying, many persons who find themselves in difficult situations came to you, and you relieved them immediately. Hearing this, I have anxiously sought your feet. Please do not disappoint me. Sai Baba then asked him for dakshina of rupees 5, which Ratanji intended to give, but added that he had already received 340 from him and that he should pay the balance only. Hearing this, Ratanji was rather puzzled. He could not make out as to what Baba meant. That was the first time he thought that he had came to Shirdi, and how was it that Baba said that he had earlier got 340 from him. He could not solve the riddle, but he sat at Baba's feet and gave the balance of the dakshina asked for, explained to Baba fully as to why he came and sought his help. and prayed that Baba should bless him with a son. Baba was moved and told him not to worry, and that thence onward his bad days had ended. He then gave him Udi, placed his hand on his head, and blessed him, saying that Allah, God, would satisfy his heart's desire. Then, after taking Baba's leave, Ratanji returned to Nanded and told Das Ganu everything that took place at Shirdi. He said that everything went on well there, that he got Baba's darshan and blessings with prasad. But there was one thing which he could not understand. Baba said to him that he had got rupees 3414 before. Please explain as to what Baba meant by this remark. He said to Das Ganu, I never went to Shirdi before, and how could I give him the sum to which Baba referred? To Das Ganu too, it was a puzzle, and he thought much over it for a long time. Some time afterwards, it struck him that Ratanji had received some days ago a Mohammedan saint by name Mosuli Sahib in his house and had spent some money for his reception. This Mauli Sahib was a well-known saint of Nanded and worked as a potter. When Ratanji decided to go to Shirdi, this Mauli Sahib turned up at Ratanji's house. Ratanji knew him and loved him, so he gave a small party in his honor. Das Ganu got this from Ratanji, the memo of expenses of this reception, and everybody was wonderstruck to see that the expenses amounted exactly to rupees 314, nothing more, nothing less. They all came to Shirdi they all came to know that Baba was omniscient, that though he lived in Shirdi, he knew what happened outside far away from Shirdi. In fact, he knew the past, present, and future and could identify himself with anybody. In this particular instance, how could he know the reception given to Mauli Sahib and the amount spent thereon unless he could identify himself with him and be one with him? Shri Sai